Okay, so today we're going to be drawing Smurfette, not Smurfs, but just Smurfette. I started drawing another Smurf, but I decided I didn't want to make this video painfully long, so I decided not to add that. Okay, so we'll start by drawing an oval at a slight angle, just like that, an oval. And draw a guideline through it, which right through the center, curved a little bit, which will show us where the eyes go. Then you draw a triangle like so, which will be the beginning of her dress. And you could just draw a rectangle there, going outwards, and a rectangle at her side, and then two squares, and then a square for one of her hands. Those two rectangles would be her arms, and then you draw two rectangles touching at the bottom of the triangle, which will be her legs, and you could draw just ovals for her feet. I'm just making the head a little bit bigger. Then you draw kind of like a triangle for the other hand. It's more spread out because her fingers are spread out instead of closed in a fist. And here I was drawing the other Smurf, but I wouldn't follow along with that because I'm not going to show you how to finish that, because then the video would have been too long, so it's just one Smurf. But I'll leave a link at some point for the finished picture so you can see what the other Smurf ended up looking like. Okay, so now we're going to finish some details on Smurfette. So I started by attempting to draw her hair and her hat, but I got irritated with how I couldn't get the hat right, so I left that for now. So as you can see, I'm drawing just a curve on the one side, which is where her hair covers her head. I'm drawing her bangs up there and the bottom of her hair. And I started drawing a circle for the tip of the hat, but I erased that because I didn't like it because it was way too big, as you could tell. So I erased that. And I attempted drawing it again, but that didn't turn out well either. Well, I guess it wasn't as bad, but I didn't like it. And I just accidentally erased some of the head, so I redid that. Then I drew two circles touching, and they're touching at the center line that you drew before. And I'm just outlining those a bit. So they're pretty much conjoined eyes. Then you can draw the eyelids and the eyelashes, which are on the side of her eyes. And you can draw her pupils too, which are just two small ovals in the center. Her nose is kind of like a pickle. I don't know. I use a lot of pickle references. And her mouth, her nose, the top of her nose is touching her eyes, and her mouth is just a smile. And then I drew her eyebrows, which are just two little slashes above her eyes. And next we're going to continue her hand. She's kind of has her hand half closed in a fist, but she's pointing at something. Probably the other Smurf I started. So you can start by drawing her first finger, and then you could continue down into her thumb, which is kind of at an odd angle, and draw the rest of her knuckles, like her knuckles. Then we're going to start the dress. You could start by drawing just a little bit of a curved line for the front, and you could draw the neckline and the line where the arm is. And then I started drawing her other arm by drawing her shoulder there. And her other hand, you could kind of see a little bit of the thumb, but it's just a partial bit because her hand is at an odd angle. And then you could draw the other three fingers, just like that, just rounded. And you could draw the bottom of her dress, which is just like all curvy like that. And there's three little circles as a little design. Then you can curve her legs a bit more and define her shoes. Just draw the edge where her shoes are, very small shoes. round feet. My mom finds that cute, the feet, oddly enough. And then we're going to start the hair. Now the hair, her bangs, they don't go down in front of her face, but it just like curves over her forehead. And her hair is very rounded. It's just like a big round bump at the bottom, like that. I wonder if she uses bumpets, that hair thing that you put in your hair and makes your hair bump up like that. I wonder. And now I finally kind of got the hat right. It still doesn't really look right to me, but I didn't have much time, so I just left it how it was. Draw the top of the hat by just drawing a circle and continue that into the rest of the hat, which it goes over at an angle where the top part of the hat is, and then down, and it connects with the bottom of the hair. The top of the hair, I mean. And yeah, continuing. And I finished the hat, that, and added more detail to the hair. Now this step is optional, as always in my video, where I erase over all the lines and go over them with a darker pencil, such as a 8B or 7B, I think. And you go over the lines to make them darker. In this case, I'm not actually using a graphite pencil, but I'm using an extra black layout pencil, which I don't think it's really different than a graphite pencil, it's just darker. So you don't have to get like 8B and 7B and all those sorts of things. You could just get an extra black layout pencil. I guess it's kind of like a pencil crayon, except it's erasable. Which I do hear that they have those. Now I just sped this up a lot because I didn't want to waste time speeding up the outlining. Just going over the lines that you already have, so it's no point in me walking you through all that. And that is how you draw Smurfette.